Yeah, that ought to do it. Cool. All right. Live. We are live now. Where's my chat window? There it is. Awesome. Good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tapioca Tuesday. And welcome to Backlog Day, where tonight I am playing Lamplight City. I should note that this Sunday, earlier this week, the 19th, was the birthday of Francisco Gonzalez, the creator of this game. And his next game, Rosewater, is now available to wishlist on Steam. So if you're liking this game, you'll probably like Rosewater too. It's looking pretty sweet. So, highly recommend supporting that dude. He's a good dude. Makes good games. I'll probably shill up some more later. when people actually show up. Because doing it at the beginning of my stream when no one's here yet, not a good idea. But anyway, yes, we are looking for leads. We have a bunch of leads to follow with regards to the murder of this dude here. Let's see. We just talked to the sewer guy, who is now in the bar here. We just finished talking to him. Who else we got? Oh yes, Darius at the Opium Den in Chumley. Investigate the taxidermy shop. Search Ronan's apartment for clues. Oh, Ronan being the victim. Dr. Edwards. Oh, Dr. Edwards being the coroner. Right. So we have Darius, who. So there's Darius, and then there's, what was his name? Like Singin' Tom or something like that. We don't know where Singin' Tom is, but we know he was friends with Darius, so we should probably go hang out with that guy. Although Opium Den's great place to hang out. So I don't recognize where we just were. Opium Den right there. Taxidermy, police station. Oh yeah, taxidermy is where Ronan worked. Police station, Morgan Bakery. That's where his sister is. That's where his apartment is. Okay, yeah. Let's finish chasing down these leads before we look more into the murder victim himself. Cool.
Crisparkle Lane. Nothing crisp or sparkly about it.
Garbage in the corners.
What? I wonder how many layers of advertisements you'd have to cut through before getting to the wall. I can't make heads or tails of it, but I'll bet you 10 crowns it doesn't say welcome.
I unfortunately cannot read that either. I used to know some kanji when I studied Japanese, but I'm not going to embarrass myself by attempting to interpret that because I'm just going to be wrong. I know it. Like those first two.
What do you want?
Those first two characters look kind of familiar, but I'm not confident in my ability to translate.
I'm looking for a man named Darius. I believe he may be inside.
Yeah, I don't know anybody with that name. So if that's all you wanted, get lost.
I don't believe you.
Might I come in, please?
This is private property, and I don't know you, so no.
Nothing. Never mind.
Stop wasting my time.
She's probably not going to open up if I say I'm a private investigator, and I might mess up my chances, but I'm actually gonna... what? Oh. Save.
You again? What do you want?
My name is Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I demand you let me in the name of the law.
The law? Is this your idea of a joke?
No, as I said, I'm a private investigator.
Then I really don't have to let you in. You bothered me enough. Get out of here!
Something tells me we won't be getting in there anytime soon. No answer.
Yeah.
Looks like you blew your chances with this place.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I think I'm actually going to load and let's say I did not do that. Because I'm pretty sure telling her I'm with the law is going to, like, just close that off forever. Let's just not do that. Okay, so I need a way in there, clearly. Okay, then let's investigate his apartment. Whoa.
Quite the collection of exotic items in here. Ronan appears to be a seasoned world traveler.
Or at least knows someone who is.
Just looking at this painting is making me feel seasick.
Ooh, a roll-top desk. Those always have fun things in them.
This mask looks African. You should try it on. It'd be an improvement.
Wow.
Some kind of owl mask. The hair looks incredibly familiar.
It's Gabriel Knight's hair.
This one is scarier than the other masks. Wait a moment. I think I saw something shiny in the back of the mouth.
So did I. Gimme.
How about that? A perfect hiding place for a key.
Now to find out what Mr. Lespay finds so precious.
Figured that would be locked.
They appear to be a pair of letters from Ronan's landlord.
July 2nd, 1844. Ronan, with regards to your request for an extension to pay this month's rent, I'll gladly give you until next month. You have always been a reliable tenant who has paid on time, so don't be concerned. I hope you resolve your issues. Danforth. Aw, that's sweet. September 3rd, 1844. Ronan, I understand we all go through financial difficulties, but I'm afraid I can't extend my generosity beyond the end of 2 months. Please have the rent ready by then, or I will have no choice but to seek legal action against you. Danforth. Okay. So he was having money troubles, clearly.
It's empty. Too bad. Ooh, this teacup could use a washing. I'd be surprised if it isn't permanently stuck to the desk. A model of the SS Joondalup. Looks like a merchant vessel to me.
Joondalup. Wonder where that name comes from.
This one appears to be from Emily.
December 26th, 1843. Ronan, Gerald and I will be celebrating the new year and would like to invite you to spend it with us. Please feel free to bring along any guests you'd like, especially any lady friends you might have. All my love, Emily. Ooh.
Aha. A letter from someone called Jimbo?
Jimbo. Ronan, next week will be a year since we met. I can honestly say my life has changed for the better in every possible way, and I will always hold July 8th as a special day in my heart. I can't wait to see you again. Jimbo. Maybe a bit of, Maybe his sister is assuming things about him that are not true.
Looks like you found Ronan's journal. Perhaps this will be able to give us some more insight into what he was up to before he died.
Well, let's read a random entry first.
Let's see. October 21st, 1843. The air is growing cold, and it's reminding me that I need to purchase a new pair of boots for the winter. I don't think this entry will be of much interest. March 11th, 1844. I must have eaten something last night which didn't agree with me because I've had a terrible case of the runs.
Probably best to skip this one.
Agreed. October 21st, I don't think...
Okay.
June 17th, 1843. Someone brought in a rare big-eared hopping mouse from Australia yesterday. Stuffing it was quite a challenge, as the organs were difficult to remove without damaging the body. I think I'd rather not read about Ronan's taxidermy process any further. February 24th, 1844. Jimbo has been at sea for nearly 2 months. These long periods away are the most difficult, but all the time seems to disappear when I see him again. My solace is that he will return with plenty of tales of adventure. I can hardly wait to hear them.
Cool.
October 20... I don't think... June 17th... February 20... November 9th, 1843. I have an uneasy feeling of dread today. Last night I had a frightening dream where fire rained from the sky and people were afflicted with an awful disease. I'm just going to focus on my work today. Perhaps the feeling will pass.
That's a Shardlight reference. That's gotta be a reference to Shardlight. That's awesome. Well done. Well played. Well played, Francisco.
February 20th. These long... My sol... March 11th.
Probably.
Agreed. October... I don't... February... These... My...
Any others?
October... I don't... February... These... My... November 9th. Last night... I'm just going...
No, I think that's about it.
There are 2 entries, one from this year and one from last.
So, start with last year's.
July 8th, 1843. I've decided I need to get out more, so I'm going to a club in Gascon tonight. Stuffing animals has taken its toll, and I need to talk to someone who isn't Emily or my coworkers. Gerald told me about a place called the Crimson Cat. I'll try it, and if I don't enjoy myself, I'll just come home. Now for this year's entry. July 8th, 1844. Today is our 1-year anniversary. We're going to meet at the Cat again. I love him, but I wish he wasn't so attached to that place. Emily is so nosy, I worry that she might follow me and discover the truth about Jimbo. If we moved around, I wouldn't worry, but with him, it's always the Crimson Cat. I really shouldn't complain, though. What we have is something truly special.
Well, it seems that our best hope of finding this Jimbo character is to visit the Crimson Cat.
Cool. Oh yeah, we visited the Crimson Cat in a previous case. We met that one dude who was an asshole. Alright, cool. Ronan had a boyfriend. My theory is still that his sister killed him.
I had an illustration that looked similar to that one. I wonder where it ended up. I guess Ronan won't be realizing his world travel dreams now. Death really has a way of messing up your plans. Ronan wasn't too concerned with comfort, apparently. This is hardly bigger than a bunk at sea.
Definitely not big enough for 2 people.
Ronan's book collection mostly consists of cheap pulp adventure novels, but this top shelf looks interesting.
What do we got? Yay, more things to read. Exotic fauna of Africa. Black rhinoceros. An adult black rhinoceros stands 1.50 to 1.75 meters, 59 to 69 inches, high at the shoulder and is 3.5 to 3.9 meters, 11 to 13 feet in length. An adult weighs from 850 to 1,600 kilograms, 1,870 to 3,530 pounds. Exceptionally to 1,800 kilograms, 4,000 pounds, with the females being smaller than the males. Elephant. In African elephants, males stand 3.2 to 4.0 meters, 10.5 to 13.1 feet, tall at the shoulder, and weigh 4,700 to 6,048 kilograms, 10,362 to 13,334 pounds, while females stand 2.2 to 2.6 meters, 7.2 to 8.5 feet tall, and weigh 2,160 to 3,232 kilograms, 4,762 to 7,125 pounds. L. cyclotis is smaller with male shoulder heights of up to 2.5 meters, 8.2 feet. Fascinating. Exotic fauna of Australia. Kangaroo. A strange cross between a rabbit and a donkey, the kangaroo is a marsupial, which is to say it has a pouch where its young reside until reaching maturity. The kangaroo is herbivorous and travels by hopping on its powerful hind legs. Koala. Koalas may appear at first glance to be small bears, but are in fact marsupials. Like the kangaroo, baby koalas spend their first few years inside their mother's pouch. Koalas sleep many hours in the day and feed primarily on the leaves of the eucalyptus tree. 1 second. Okay, cool. Secret Customs of the Orient. You must be... Ooh, bookworm! That's me. You must be aware, dear reader, that the customs of the Orient differ greatly from our own. You would do well to familiarize yourself not only with common ones, but the more obscure and clandestine ones as well, lest you offend anyone on your travels. Opium use. Great start. At the turn of the century, travelers to the Orient would often seek out the more exotic pleasures, which is to say opium. Nowadays, the influx of immigrants from China to Vespuccia has caused a significant drop in this type of tourism, as many opium dens have appeared in El Presidio, some even known to exist as far east as New Britannia. In any case, opium dens are open to all who seek to indulge. Known colloquially as riding the dragon, the use of opium recreationally for relaxation or as a social activity is a common pastime. Baiju. If you are offered wine, make sure you understand what exactly it is you're about to drink. Chances are it might be baiju, a clear liquid usually distilled from fermented sorghum, although other grains may be used. Southern China versions may employ glutinous rice, while northern Chinese varieties may use wheat, barley, millet, or even Job's tears instead of sorghum. The Jiuku starter culture, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong, used in the production of baiju mash is usually made of pulverized wheat grains. As a foreigner, drinking baiju may be a shocking experience. It has been known to be used as a way of proving oneself in a group. This high concentration of alcohol is often too much for anyone not used to it. Exercise caution. The last thing you want is to end up face down in a back alley. I wonder if Miles is gonna try to get his hands on some baiju at some point. Bible.
It's in another language, but it appears to be a Bible.
It looks like Dutch to me.
It's in another... No title, and it appears to be blank. I wonder if Ronan just kept empty books on his shelf to appear well-read.
Unmarked book.
No title.
I wonder if there's something like... I wonder if there's like invisible ink or something. If there's like a secret message in that book or something. That'd be cool. Okay, that's... I think that's about all there is in here to look at right now. Let's go investigate his workplace. And then perhaps we'll go swing by the Crimson Cat.
Hello and welcome to the Gripsome Taxidermy Shop. Please let me know if I can be of service.
Oh my god. It's that lion. Goofy ass taxidermy lion.
Is that supposed to be a lion? I wonder how many people it took to bring down this brute. There's a small button on the base.
Ooh, press it.
Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next?
Hug. I wonder if that's gonna come in, if I'm gonna need to use that at some point.
Reminds me of the one in the Dupree house, except that one actually looked alive. There's a small button on the base.
Ooh.
Welcome to the Gripsome Taxidermy Shop. Please enjoy our displays and be sure to consider us for all your taxidermy needs. Just a reminder, we stuff animals only.
Thanks, Abe Goldfarb. Hey, Morinda, I've been streaming this game for the past, 4 weeks or something, and generic point-and-click adventure game is a pretty rude thing to say about any game, really. No, this is Lamplight City, by Grendislav Games, who is frequently associated with Wadget Eye Games. And yeah, it's a steampunky, detective-y, inspired by Gabriel Knight and L.A. Noire game, and it's pretty cool so far. I like it.
Exotic dead fauna from every other continent. You never even need to leave Vespuccia. I thought owls were supposed to be wise. How'd this one let itself end up on display in a place like this?
Excellent question.
That leads into a room with even more dead things. It's such a shame we haven't the time to stick around and explore.
Such a shame. Alright. You, what's your deal?
I was wondering if you might answer some questions for me.
Of course. What can I help you with?
He looks kind of albino-y.
So how did you get this job?
Oh, it isn't a terribly exciting story, I'm afraid. I just saw an ad in the Gazette for a clerk position. I never expected to learn so much about taxidermy.
I'm sure he's amazing conversation at parties.
Hey, taxidermy's awesome, okay?
Anything you can tell me about the shop?
Plenty! This is New Britannia's most sophisticated taxidermy shop. Unlike other taxidermists, we work with modern technology to get results they could only dream of.
What does that mean exactly?
Using steam tech, we are able to create the illusion of life in these beasts.
steam
Just
tech,
take a
of
look
course.
at our floor samples. The parrot and gorilla are two of our finest works. They really speak for themselves. Well, the parrot does at least.
Say.
I think it would frighten our customers if the gorilla did too. And once ethericity is harnessed as a viable source of energy, we'll get even better results.
This guy is way too excited about bringing dead things back to life.
Yes, fascinating. Moving on.
Just wait. Someday one of their taxidermy projects will end up in the Leyendecker Museum and save a woman's life.
Any thoughts on the recent election?
I'd really rather not talk about it. I don't know how the people of this country could put someone like Hart Leroy in charge.
I know what you mean. Leroy may be a champion of the common man. But Atwood's vision for the future is more important right now.
I couldn't agree more. Leroy wants to forsake all the technological advances of the last decade and take us back to the Dark Ages. Next thing you know, he'll be bringing slavery back.
I doubt he'd go to such extremes.
Perhaps we should drop the subject. I get a bit passionate when it comes to these sorts of things.
Fair.
I was told Ronan Lespay works here. Do you know him?
Ronan? Yes, of course. That is to say, I know he works here. I haven't had much interaction with him. He mostly keeps to himself.
Does he have an office or workspace I might have a look at?
Now, wait just a minute. Why would I let some random stranger off the street in to look at an employee's workspace?
Because I'm a private investigator and I'm trying to get some information.
Well, even if that is the case, I'm afraid you're out of luck. Ronan does have a workspace, but it's completely bare. He doesn't keep anything here.
Are you sure about that?
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered 4 nights ago?
I had no idea. That's awful. What happened?
That's what I'm currently trying to find out. Do you know if Ronan had any enemies? Anyone who might want to do him harm?
No. As I said, I didn't speak with him much, or know much about him. But now that I think about it, I did notice a strange man waiting around outside the shop a few days ago.
I wonder if that was Jimbo. Hey, Hunter. Yeah, well, it's inspired by Gabriel Knight. It's not Gabriel Knight itself.
Tell me about this strange man you saw.
At the time, I didn't think much of him. But the more I recall, the more I realized he was being very suspicious.
What did he do?
He just stood outside across the street, but he seemed to be focusing on the building. It was as though he was waiting for someone.
Do you remember what this man looked like?
I didn't get a very good look at him, but I do remember some things. He was tall and had a heavy build, like a boxer or a dock worker. He had a beard, I think, or mutton chops at the very least. And as far as I can recall, he was wearing all black. He also had on some kind of cap. I'm sorry I can't give you a better description, but that's all I was able to distinguish. My eyesight isn't very good, I'm afraid.
It'll have to do. Thank you for your help.
Wear glasses.
Thank you for your help.
I'm here to serve.
Alright. Interesting. Okay. Description of strange man. Okay, yep. Small gold key. Oh yeah, right. We found the pistol in the drain. Ooh, extremely inebriated at the time of death. I bet he had been drinking Baijiu. Okay, so only place we haven't been yet is the Crypts of the Cat. Let us go to there.
Good old Bollingworth Ale. Unlike so many other things in life, it never lets you down. Well, not while you're drinking it anyway. The next morning is another story entirely. This place has been around for quite some time. That well-dressed feline is Red, the official mascot.
Back at the Crimson Cat again.
Looks like a view of Claremont Street with St. Denis Cathedral in the background. Call me old-fashioned, but I've always felt the piano should be played by an actual human. These automated ones just don't have any soul.
I still can't talk to this woman. There's a sailor.
Looks like they've got Bollingworth, Mill Hopper, and Brooklyn Lager. Not a bad set of beers. Attention customers. Use of Dr. Tennyson's figure pills while under the influence of alcohol may cause loss of consciousness. It's nice to see this establishment looking out for its patrons. Seagrave's Stasholine, high-quality mustache wax. You know, I always wondered what you'd look like with a mustache.
Well, you're gonna have to keep wondering.
Quite the selection. It rivals even the Angel. Fine beer always served here. Good to know.
Beg your pardon. Your name wouldn't happen to be Jimbo, would it?
Yeah? Who's asking?
Miles Fordham, private investigator.
Can a guy enjoy his shore leave without being harassed by the law? I've done nothing wrong.
I didn't say you had, and I'm most certainly not the law. I just want to ask you a few questions.
All right, fine.
Jimbo! That was easy to find. Those are certainly some mutton chops. And a cap.
Where does the name Jimbo come from?
It's just a nickname. My real name's James Bowcroft.
And what is it you do?
I'm a sailor. I thought you detective types were supposed to be extra observant. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what my occupation was just by looking at my fingernails or something?
Sorry to disappoint. Perceptiveness is important in my line of work, but I'm also just a man.
I think perhaps Jimbo has been reading too many of those detective stories in Brentwood.
Do you have any opinions about the recent election?
Not really. I'm usually way at sea, so I don't keep up with politics. The sea's got her own laws. Anyway, I can't vote, so it's really none of my concern.
But you're still affected by the decisions the Prime Minister makes.
Not very fair, is it, Mr. Fordham?
No, it isn't.
No, I suppose it isn't. You know Ronan the Spey?
I knew him, yeah.
Knew him?
He and I haven't spoken recently. In about a month, actually. Things didn't go so well last time.
How do you mean?
Let's just say we didn't part on the best of terms. He made it very clear that he didn't want to speak to me again.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered?
What? No, when? What happened?
He was shot outside a tavern in Chumley 4 nights ago.
Chumley? What was he doing there?
I was hoping perhaps you could tell me.
I honestly don't know. Ronan hardly went out, and he especially never crossed the river.
Why was that?
I think he was just too scared of the world to go out and see it for himself. He was happy enough reading about it in his books or collecting things I brought him back from my travels. Honestly, that's what I liked most about him. He was just an average, boring man. It was just the sort of balance I needed in my life.
That's pretty much the exact same reason I always enjoyed working with you, Miles.
Aw.
You and Ronan had a special relationship, didn't you?
Mr. Fordham, we're in an underground club. You don't have to tap dance around it.
Oh, good.
Yes, Ronan and I were a couple.
Aw.
At least up until last month.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
We had a misunderstanding. Ronan thought I had been seeing someone else. He was extremely jealous. I tried to explain that he had it all wrong, but he wouldn't hear me out. I was going to give him some time to cool off, but, well, that's not going to happen now, is it?
Aw.
If it's any consolation, I found a letter you wrote him, which he still kept in his desk.
Damn. Thank you for telling me that.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Aw. I'm sorry, Jimbo. I'm sorry you lost your boyfriend. Alright, let's see. Let's go see if I can learn anything from the coroner. I think he was like busy or something last time? I forget. What's up, Edwards?
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
I found this pistol at the scene of the Lespay crime.
Oh, right.
Did you take a look and see if it was used to murder him?
It's all slimy. Where was it?
Sitting at the bottom of a storm drain.
Oh, I suppose that's not as exciting as finding it inside someone's intestines. Did I ever tell you about that post-mortem, by the way?
No, I certainly don't want to hear about it now. How long will it take you to analyze that pistol?
I should have something conclusive within the hour, if you don't mind waiting.
No, it'll give me some time to gather my thoughts.
Right. I've concluded my analysis, and this gun was definitely used to shoot Mr. Lespay. The bullet I removed from his body is a perfect match.
Thank you, Edwards. That is extremely helpful.
There's one more thing. I cleaned off some of the muck and found the initials JB etched into the handle.
Interesting.
My expertise with guns is purely forensic, so I can't determine if this is the gun's maker or the initials of its owner. That's going to have to be your job.
Thank you, Edwards. Help is always appreciated.
Right. Now, JB.
I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham.
Jimbo's initials are JB. So that kind of puts the a bit of a finger, points a bit of a finger at him. But maybe we can find a pistol manufacturer with those initials.
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
Would you happen to have any information on the opium den in Chumley?
I know there is one, but that's about it. The department doesn't have the manpower to bother keeping files on that sort of establishment.
So no idea how one might get inside.
I'm afraid not. Those places are very hush-hush about their activities. They're almost like exclusive high society clubs in their own seedy way.
Interesting observation. I think I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Upton, I need you to put out a bulletin. There's someone I need found.
Oh, who's that?
I don't know his name. I only have a description.
All right, I'll need to ask you a few questions. Could you describe the man's height and build?
Actually, I wonder if I want to not do this. Let's just do this.
He's short, with a stocky build.
All right. What color is his hair?
Blonde, unless I'm mistaken.
All right. Do you know of any unique details that might make him easier to identify?
I'm not really sure, actually.
Then maybe you should see if you can ask around to get a more detailed description. This really isn't much to go on, I'm afraid. But I'll try anyway. All right. The bulletin is out. I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Thanks, Upton. I appreciate the help.
Yeah, I don't really want to get Jimbo in trouble just yet. So let's keep looking around. Let's see. Government department, Morgan Bay. Let's go to the bakery, see if there's anything new to say here. Keck. The bakery is a lie.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
Are you familiar with someone who goes by the name Jimbo?
No, I don't think so. Who is that?
A friend of Ronan's.
No, as I told you, I didn't know Ronan to have any friends. I especially don't recall him mentioning anyone called Jimbo.
Those are all the questions I have for now.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Let's see. Take a quick glance at the Silent Raven again before heading over to the opium den.
A moment of your time, if I may.
Right, we'll make it quick.
What up, Cormac?
I wonder if you could tell me if you saw a man of this description at the Silent Raven on election night. He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Oh, hi. Cormac remembers seeing a fella like that.
What was he doing?
Kept going in and out of the bar. When he was inside, he stood near the voting booths, hardly moving a muscle.
And when he was outside?
That, Cormac couldn't say.
Did you notice anything else about him?
Yes, Cormac noticed him come in and speak with Nicole, the barmaid, after the commotion outside.
Is that right? That's very interesting. Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink. Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
I was given the physical description of a man, and I was wondering if you might recognize him if I told you.
Perhaps. Go on, then.
He's tall, strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Bit vague, wouldn't you say? That covers about half our clientele.
I was afraid that might be the case. Did you notice anyone of that description here on election night?
No. Can't say I did, sorry.
Is that right? Because Cormac told me he saw you speaking with someone of that description shortly after the murder occurred.
And you believed him? Cormac's a good sort, but he's not exactly reliable.
I'd say he's twice as reliable as you are. Now
Oh,
tell me the
snap.
truth, or I'll have you in as an accomplice to murder.
All right, relax. I don't know the man by name, but he came to me after the commotion outside and paid me a few crowns to keep my mouth shut about it. I didn't ask any more questions, and I wasn't about to refuse some extra cash. That was that, I swear.
That's not good enough. I need some way to find this man. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Well, I did notice he had a scar on his left cheek. Kind of looked like a shepherd's crook. But that's all, really.
Suppose that'll have to do.
Interesting. I don't think,
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
I don't think Jimbo had a scar like that. So that's good. Hey, Edenwaith. How far did we make it? We are at the mink farm. So we're looking for Mo. And also our bike's, the bike's fuel line got stolen by that dickbag trucker. Okay, so... let's see if I can get any further with the opium den. Oh, maximum save slots reached. Oh, right. I'm trying to overwrite. Okay.
You again? What do you want?
I was told this was the place to come if I wanted to ride the dragon.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say so? Please, come in.
Sweet. Oh yeah. Ride that dragon. Ride us a dragon. Ride us a lightning. Dagrons.
Poor horse. That fellow in the armor must have weighed a ton. At least they provide their clients with some measure of privacy. Now I see why they call it riding the dragon.
Oh, those are cool pipes. Oh, that's Darius. Somehow we know that.
She's not gonna be much help right now. Best not to bother her.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a man by the name of Darius.
Well, look no further. Welcome, friend. Sit, join me.
I'll stand, if that's all right. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Questions are the path to enlightenment. Answers fly by as birds on the breeze. But will a caged bird sing? That is the true question.
Wow.
Wonderful. He's as high as a kite. This is gonna be worse than pulling teeth.
Where's some of those vigor pills? Where's that that one dude from the first case?
Do you often come to this establishment, Darius?
Oh, yes. This place is better than any doctor or hospital. It has exactly the cure I need.
Cure? For what?
I'm ill, sir. Just as you are. Just as we all are. Infected by a terrible disease known as life.
Speak for yourself.
But spend a few hours in here with the intoxicating nectar of the poppy, and you'll find nothing can defeat you.
He's got some mutton chops too, although I don't know if those are really full-blown mutton chops. They're just rather large sideburns.
So did you manage to get out of here and vote?
Please don't bother me with such trivial matters. Why should I care who leads the government? As long as they don't outlaw places like this, they can do whatever they please.
Is this guy ignorant or just apathetic? Yeah, well, I don't know, and I don't care.
He's very chill, if nothing else.
I was wondering if you could tell me whether you saw a certain man at the Raven on election night. He's tall, strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Lots of people like that go to the Raven. I see loads of them every night. But now that you mention it, I do remember someone like that. He was a strange one.
How so?
I remember one of the times he came in, he was adjusting his hat. I could have sworn when he took it off for just a moment, his hair was bright red.
How is that strange, exactly?
Because his beard was jet black. It was the oddest thing I'd seen. Well, it was the oddest thing I'd seen. Until his beard slid halfway down his face.
I see. Well, thank you for the information.
Okay.
Wonderful. This testimony is about as useful as a hole in the head. Then again, there might be something to it.
Someone was in disguise. And they say never trust a man whose beard doesn't match his hair.
What can you tell me about the Silent Raven?
Ah, the Raven. My home away from home.
I would have thought that was this place.
I was gonna say.
Unless this one is just the home.
Do you have many friends there?
Right there with
People
you.
you speak with often?
Yes, friends. I call them friends anyway, but really, what is a friend?
A miserable little pile of
Someone
secrets.
who drinks with you? Someone who shares secrets with you? Are those friends? My father used to tell me that the only two friends you had were your mother and the crown in your pocket. Well, both of those are gone now. So what does that mean for me?
I don't know, sir. I'm just asking about people you speak to at the Raven.
The barmaid, Nicole, she gets mad at me sometimes when I break things. But she's all right.
Have you ever conversed with a patron called Singing Tom?
Singing Tom? You mean old Tom Puffin?
I'm not sure. I was just told he was called Singing Tom and was a regular at the Silent Raven.
That's the man. I see him in here all the time.
In here, not just at the Raven?
Tom is a child of the poppy, just as I am. He truly understands the world as it is.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Yes, he's the choir master at St. Denis Cathedral. That's where he spends his time when he's not here.
You mean to tell me we have to talk to another one of these loonies? Wonderful.
Yay!
Are you familiar with a man named Ronan Lespay?
I know many men. Some old, some young, some rich, some poor. Some I know by name, some by face. But this man you speak of, this Ronan, he is unfamiliar to me.
I have a ferrotype. Do you recognize him?
Forgive me, but my eyes are blurry. I cannot make out his features.
Well, he's useless, isn't he? Too bad there's no way to snap him out of it, like there was with Dupre's kid.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Was it a murder?
It was. A man was shot in cold blood.
That would explain the commotion, as well as the sound.
So you heard the gunshot?
I did. I thought it might have been one of the voting machines making the noise. But then there were shouts, and people began to run.
Did you see or hear anything before you heard the gunshot?
I seem to remember hearing a man shouting a name.
A name?
Yes. It sounded like Priscilla.
Well, how about that? He's managed to be of some use after all. Assuming he's telling the truth, of course.
And does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Afraid not, young man.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, young man. May you find peace and happiness.
Aw, thanks. You too. Priscilla. We haven't met anyone named Priscilla yet, have we?
They're really dedicated to their theme in here, aren't they?
Okay. I guess I'm off. Please ignore the fact that I did not smoke any opium. Okay. There's the cathedral. Singin' Tom.
Heh. Prayer candles? People think lighting one of these is gonna solve their problems. If only it were that easy. Also, what happens if they go out? Does that mean your prayer gets canceled? Shh. What? It's an important question. The more I think about it, the more I want to test my theory about prayers being canceled if the candles go out.
Oh, I can blow them out, looks like. Let's not do that just yet.
This angel looks like it would throw its lamp at you as soon as you turned your back on it. Now this is one intriguing chest. If only we could search it without arousing any suspicions.
There's a body in there. Or rather, there's a skeleton in there that's been eaten away by domestic beetles.
What a racket. I'm glad you're not a member of this church. Sitting through Sunday Mass would drive me insane.
Just gonna delete a bunch of saves. I should do this off stream, but if I'm in the middle of a stream, I'm not gonna just cut stream to delete save files. Okay. Tom! Major Tom.
I beg your pardon. Are you Tom Puffin?
I am. How may I help you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I wanted to ask you a few questions.
Questions? Have I done something wrong?
No, Mr. Puffin. I simply believe you may have some information that I need.
Very well, then.
That's Abe Goldfarb again. Those are some mutton chops. And that is some hair. Wow. He looks a little, weirdly, he looks a little bit like Weird Al.
How did you become choir master of this church?
Oh, well, I studied music at the University of New Britannia. Once I completed my studies, I began writing symphonies in hopes of securing a patron, but I had no luck. So I decided to focus on choral compositions. I said a few pieces to the bishop, and he offered me the position.
And you enjoy it?
Oh, yes, sir, immensely. I'm able to continue composing songs for our choir, as well as teach music to our young members. I take my church duties very seriously.
What else do you do besides lead the choir?
Just a few things here and there, making sure the aisles and the pews are clean, tending to the prayer candles, and that sort of thing.
It's the mustache. That's why it makes me think of Weird Al.
So, what do you think of the election results?
All right, the election. Who won?
Leroy. He beat Atwood by a significant margin.
Oh, I suppose that's good. I think I may have voted for him, but I'm not sure.
What were you doing on election night, Mr. Puffin?
Election night? That was ages ago, wasn't it?
It was 4 nights ago, to be precise.
Oh, you have to understand. I have trouble recalling what I ate for breakfast this morning, let alone what happened 4 nights ago.
I believe that.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Do try to remember, Mr. Puffin. It's quite important.
Well, I know I voted at my local polling place, the Silent Raven. And then, I'm not sure, actually.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven?
Murder?
Yes, a man was shot. Did you see or hear anything?
I don't remember. I don't think so, no.
How long were you at the Raven that evening?
Not very long, I don't think. I went, voted, stayed for a drink, and then I left.
Do you recall what you did the rest of the evening?
Not specifically. I probably went home and went to bed, like I always do.
Uh-huh.
Are you in the habit of using opium, Mr. Puffin?
What? Why would you think that?
I met your friend Darius. He told me you share a pastime.
All right, yes, I do enjoy a visit to the opium den from time to time.
From time to time? More like morning, noon, and night.
Have you found the drug has had any adverse effects? Memory loss, for example.
I admit I'm not quite as quick as I used to be, but without it, I'm in constant pain.
Is that right?
I fell off a horse when I was 15, and ever since then, my back's not been right. The doctors haven't been able to help. Poppy is my only comfort. I wish there were another way.
It might be worth seeking a more professional opinion about the effects of opium.
Maybe Dr. Edwards.
Do you recognize the man in this photo?
Is that? No, never mind.
What is it?
Well, for a moment, I thought it was someone else, but I was clearly mistaken.
So you don't recognize this person, then?
Afraid not. Who is he?
His name is, or rather was, Ronan Lespay.
What? Is he dead?
He is. I'm trying to find out who killed him.
Well, I hope you find your man, Mr. Fordham.
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Priscilla? What does that have to do with anything?
The name has come up in my investigation. Is it someone you're acquainted with?
No, it isn't. I don't know anyone by that name.
He certainly seemed concerned about her, though.
I'll let you resume your practicing, Mr. Puffin.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
All right. Intriguing. I bet if I blow out all the candles... and then I'm like, hey, the prayer candles need tending to. He'll go do that, and then I can open that chest.
Well, that's all of them. Hope you made a wish.
Could I have another moment of your time, Mr. Puffin?
Yes, I suppose so.
It seems that all the prayer candles have gone out.
Have they? Blast, I keep saying there's a draft, but nobody's done anything about it. Excuse me for a moment, won't you?
And yoink.
Let's hope this chest hasn't got squeaky hinges.
Ooh. Dearest Ned, your last letter made me giggle with delight. I just cannot stop dreaming. I just cannot stop dreaming of the day we can finally make our dreams come true and live together as man and wife. I think it would be just the most splendid idea to get a puppy. I've already begun thinking of names. How does Wuffy sound? All my love, P. Wuffy. I have a thought.
Could I have another
here.
moment of your time, Mr. Puffin?
Yes, I suppose so.
Do you know anyone named Ned?
Ned? Well, yes, I do. My nephew, Ned Bunkridge.
Your nephew?
Yes, why do you ask?
Where might I find Ned? I'd like to speak with him.
Is everything all right? Ned hasn't gotten into any trouble, has he? I always tell him just because he's training his body, that's no excuse to pick fights.
No, he hasn't gotten into any trouble.
Oh, well, he lives in Lyon. 511 Parkside Terrace.
Right. Thank you for the information.
Okay.
I'll let you resume your practicing, Mr. Puffin.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Okay, I have a new theory. I'm wondering now if Ronan was murdered by accident. If he just happens to look like someone who someone else wanted to kill for some reason. Yeah, may as well go check out Ned.
Right this way, sir. Mr. Bunkridge is in his gymnasium.
Thank you, my good man.
Well, you take a look at this place, and take a look at him. Maybe you should consider doing some training yourself, Miles. You aren't getting any younger after all.
Steam-powered training dummy, that's adorable.
What in the ether is that supposed to be? Looks like some kind of medieval torture device. Then again, so does most of this newfangled exercise equipment.
It looks like it has a tongue. Or is that a bicycle seat?
This seems to be where Ned keeps his extra equipment, and assorted other garbage. They don't look that heavy to me. They don't... Oh, look, maybe you can slip these on and go a couple of rounds with Ned. If that's his best right hook, he'll be a pushover. And after that expert knockout you delivered Officer Grant, he won't stand a chance.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind.
Some kind of martial art? Doesn't look like any I've ever heard of. Makes you wonder if old Nettie boy is at the end of his rope, too. Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next?
Excuse me, Mr. Bunkridge?
Oh, hello. Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. Your valet let me in.
Right, of course. What can I do for you?
I have a few questions for you, if you'd be so kind.
Yes, all right. I could use a bit of a rest anyway.
Shouldn't it be valet? Check him out.
You're very into physical conditioning, aren't you?
Oh, you noticed. Yes, I believe that a healthy body is just as important as a healthy mind, if not more so.
Well, he's definitely prioritizing the former.
It's important to keep fit, especially at a job like mine where I'm in a chair most of the day.
What job is that?
I'm a clerk at the Bank of Vespuccia. But someday, I hope to leave and teach others about the health benefits of regular exercise. Perhaps even open up my own gymnasium.
Ha! He actually thinks people are gonna go for that? Good luck to him.
Hey, we're still though. Yeah, he did. That irks me too.
How do you feel about the election outcome?
I'm disappointed. Atwood may not have been the greatest PM, but he was pro-Steam Tech. Sure, the Lygia incident was a tragedy, but people are too quick to judge. Steam technology is a boon to mankind. It's already enriched my life considerably. It's a shame that progress is going to be held back because of one isolated occurrence.
I agree. Technological advancement doesn't come cheap, but it shouldn't be abandoned entirely. Are you familiar with a man named Ronan Lespay?
Never heard of him.
I have his portrait. Maybe you recognize him?
No, I've never seen this man before, but... Huh, how about that?
How about what?
The detail in this ferrotype is a bit fuzzy, but his facial features and hair, they vaguely resemble mine.
You know, now that he mentions it, it's true. Lespay does bear a passing resemblance to this fellow. Not quite as handsome, though.
Interesting.
So, you know nothing about the murder outside the Silent Raven 4 nights ago?
That's right. I don't even know what the Silent Raven is.
It's a bar in the Chum.
Well, that explains it. For one thing, I don't go to that part of town. A man like me sets foot in that den of ruffians, and I'll have every Tom, Dick, and Harry challenging me to a fight. Not that I couldn't take them, but I have better ways to train my body than beating thugs. Anyway, I don't drink. Dulls the mind and softens the body.
I see. Well, just thought I'd ask.
I'm sorry I can't help you, Mr. Fordham, but I hope you solve whatever it is you're investigating. You seem like a nice enough sort.
Aw, thanks.
Tell me about your uncle.
You know Tom?
I've met him, yes. He's the one who told me where you lived.
Oh, right. Well, my uncle is, an interesting man.
Is that an interesting of the good or bad variety?
I really wish he would take better care of himself is all. I have the feeling that he's on some sort of drug, although he always denies it.
What gives you that impression?
Well, most of the time he acts completely normal. He goes to work, visits with me. Sometimes we go out together to the theater or a gallery. But some days his mood changes. He goes very solitary, won't leave his house, gets short with me. One time I went to visit him. I heard him yelling along with what sounded like furniture being knocked about. It only happened once, but it worried me. I hope Tom isn't in any sort of trouble.
Opium is one hell of a drug. It's a good thing you never got to that point with the soporific, or Adelaide would have thrown you out much sooner.
Are you all right, Mr. Fordham?
Yes, I'm fine.
What? Too soon?
Ouch. Oh, Bill, you jerk. Homemade gummy bears. Ooh, that does sound good. Did you make them yourself?
Could you give me Tom's address?
You don't have it? I thought you said you'd spoken with him.
I visited him at the cathedral.
But if he's there, why do you want his address?
I have reason to believe he may be somehow involved in a murder.
That's a serious accusation, Mr. Fordham. What proof do you have?
Nothing concrete just yet, which is why I'd like to investigate his home.
Well, you're not the police, so I'm not obligated to tell you. I'm sorry, but you'll need more than just a suspicion to convince me.
Okay.
On second thought, never mind. Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Yes, it most certainly does. My lady love is named Priscilla Poundstone.
I see. What can you tell me about her?
Oh, she's a darling. I love her very much. Such a kind and gentle soul she is, too. Loves animals, especially dogs. We've been together for ages and are due to be married soon.
When was the last time you saw her?
Saw her? Oh, no, Mr. Fordham. She doesn't live in New Britannia. She attends Miss Threadneedle's Academy for Young Ladies in Cormorant.
She lives in New Holland?
That's right. I've never actually met Priscilla face to face. We communicate exclusively through correspondence.
How did you two get involved?
Her father and mine were old military friends. They decided between them that their children would be engaged.
And you're both in agreement?
Yes. I admit at first I was a bit hesitant, but we share many of the same interests. The distance between us is not a detriment to our love.
I wonder how that will change once they actually begin cohabiting.
Okay.
So you correspond regularly with Priscilla?
That's right. At least one letter a week. My uncle does me the kindness of acting as courier.
Do you think I might have a look at one of those letters?
What for? They're private correspondence.
I understand, but I feel this is important. Perhaps you could show me one that isn't too personal.
Yes, I suppose that would be all right. In fact, I think there's a recent one on the shelf there. That's not too private. But you won't need to take it, will you?
Not at all. I just want to have a look.
Okay. I bet.
Thanks for your time.
Not a problem.
Bet this will be like a handwriting comparison or something. Yep, that is not the same handwriting. My dearest Ned, I was so happy to receive your last letter. Things are going well here. I'm due to begin my next course within the week. How are things with you? Did you manage to set up that gymnasium you were talking about? You'll have to send me a ferrotype of your new physique. P.
Wait just a minute. Something's off here. The handwriting in this letter is different to the one we found before. There's something strange going on with this Priscilla.
Send nudes.
This seems to be where...
Could I ask you?
All right, but try not to take too long. Don't want to drop my heart rate too much.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for your time.
Not a problem.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. So... Oh, maybe that might have been the clue we needed to get to Ned's address, actually.
Could I ask you?
Oh. Wait, hold on.
Thanks for.
Not.
Save the game first. Uncle Tom.
Could I ask you a few more questions, Mr. Bunkeridge?
All right.
About your uncle's address?
What about it? Why do you want it?
I think there's something going on between him and Priscilla.
Something going on? What do you mean?
I found a letter addressed to you from her at the cathedral, and the handwriting is different to the letter you have here.
He has one of her letters? Why would he?
I'm not sure, which is why I'd like to search his home and find out more.
If he's going behind my back, I swear I'll...
Calm yourself, Mr. Bunkeridge. If I find anything, you'll be the first to know.
All right. Tom lives at 117 Gimlet Terrace in Worcester.
Hey, practically neighbors.
Here, I've got a spare key. If you find anything about him and Priscilla, you'll tell me, won't you?
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Bunkeridge. Thanks for your time.
Not a problem.
No, this is set in a fictional version of somewhere. New Britannia. Which is like kind of Louisiana, kind of Britain. There it is. Puffin's residence. Puffin. Yeah, and all of these are all like, you know, London, like English names like Chumley, despite being spelled like that. Worcester, yeah. It's a weird, like, pastiche city. Not really stated where exactly it is.
Nice place. Tidy. Nothing incriminating that I can see.
People rarely leave anything incriminating out in the open. It's time to have a look around.
Music books. Clearly Puffin has never touched them. A statue of Eros, I believe? God of love or lust or something. Man babies in diapers never did much for me.
Scratches.
The look in her eye tells me she's probably hiding something. Puffin's daily planner. The man leads an even more boring life than you. Who knew that was even possible?
Hey, my life is awesome. Yeah, something like that.
Huh. I was wondering when he was going to show up.
It's the Buddy Christ. Except it looks like he's giving the finger a little bit. Like there's like one pixel sticking out there above his hand. The fuck you, Christ.
It's empty.
Damn.
So Puffin plays at home too? His poor neighbors. Puffin's music room is a bit lacking in comparison to the one in the painting. No point wasting time searching Puffin's bedroom. I have a feeling that if there's something to find, it's here in the sitting room.
How do you figure?
That's odd. There are some scratches on the floor next to that statue.
Sure, I don't know.
How about that? Looks like we found Singing Tom's buried treasure.
Well, what have we here?
Let's just see what we have here.
Dearest Priscilla, I've completed all my plans and will soon come visit you in Cormorant. Please remember that life in New Britannia is hard, so I may look a bit more advanced in years than you might expect. Uh-huh.
Interesting stuff. But what about the box itself?
Oh.
It seems Puffin's gun has gone missing. He should really take better care of his things. Jenkins and Bowen. The name shares the initials that were on the murder weapon. That's quite a coincidence, wouldn't you say?
I would if I believed in coincidences.
That sure is interesting. Okay. Yeah, it would have been easy to jump to conclusions and point the finger at Jimbo, but that's the impatient approach.
Nothing else in there. Too bad.
Jenkins and Bowen. Okay. Let's visit the police station. Maybe Upton knows where to find that
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
No, okay, I guess not. Well, let's see if I can do this.
Can I try giving you that description again? I may have more details now.
Sure. More details will definitely help. Could you describe the man's height and build?
So, he was a big dude.
He's tall, with a large build.
All right. What color is his hair?
Red, as far as we know.
I'm certain it's red.
All right. Do you know of any unique details that might make him easier to identify?
Yes, he has a scar on his left cheek in the shape of a shepherd's crook.
Good. That will be helpful. All right, I'll put out the bulletin. Give me a moment.
Good old.
All right, the bulletin is out. I'll let you know if...
That was quick.
Upton, just got your bulletin.
Hello, Giles. Have you got something for me?
As a matter of fact, I've got someone in the jail fitting your description perfectly.
Ooh.
You don't say.
Yup. Name's Harvey Presser. Got picked up a couple of days ago.
Thank you, Giles. You heard the man, Fordham. You've got yourself someone to interrogate over at Bow Street.
Okay, interesting. It's very Carmen Sandiego-y. Okay, then. It's like, man, this case is going in all kinds of different directions. There's like a bunch of different like leads to follow and information about lots of different stuff that I maybe isn't quite tied together yet.
Fordham, you look even worse than the last time I saw you.
We can't all manage to keep looking as good as you, Giles.
What brings you back?
I'm looking to speak with your prisoner.
Presser? I just got off the horn with Upton about him. Seems you're not the only one interested in finding the man.
Then I suppose it's lucky I got here first.
Suppose so.
What was he brought in for, exactly?
He's the suspected leader of a cooping gang. Makes me glad I didn't bother to vote. All those dirty politics are just a waste of time.
And people wonder why nothing in Parliament ever changes.
A cooping gang? What's that? This is a suspect like tennis and tacos, yeah.
I bet that's a direct line to the police department. You should make a rude noise into it when Giles isn't paying attention. He's watching you like a hawk. Looks liable to toss you in one of his cells if you try any funny business.
All right, you, what's your deal?
Harvey Presser, I presume.
Who's asking?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
What do you want from me?
Just a few minutes of your time. You don't have anywhere to be, do you?
Hardy ha. Ask what you want, but I'm not answering anything until I see a lawyer.
Oh, that's a scar, all right.
I hear you were arrested for leading a cooping gang. Is that right?
I don't have to tell you a thing. You're not a copper.
Do you recognize the man in this ferrotype?
Should I?
His name is Ronan Lespay. He was shot outside the Silent Raven on election night.
That's a real shame.
Are you saying you know nothing about the murder outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Not a thing. I've never even heard of the Silent Raven.
Is that right? Because I've spoken to at least 3 people who swore they saw you there that night.
Yeah, and you're not police, so that doesn't scare me. You can't do a thing about it.
This guy's starting to get on my nerves. There has to be a way to make him talk.
That's all the questions I have for now.
Good. Leave me in peace.
Well, that was supremely unhelpful. Alright. What else have I got? Well, I should probably tell, this guy about his uncle. What the nonsense his uncle's trying to pull.
He hasn't got anything else to tell us right now, and he probably wouldn't appreciate the interruption.
Alright, fine. Well, then I'll talk to his uncle then.
He won't be much more help right now.
Damn it.
Leave him to his practice. He really needs it.
I used to be a cop, I guess. I doubt she'll have anything new to say, but we can ask.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
Did Ronan know anyone named Priscilla?
Priscilla? No, I never heard that name before. Who is she?
Just a name that's come up in my investigation.
I wonder if Ronan had finally met a young woman.
Oh, boy. Now you've done it.
Those are all the questions I have for now.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
A woman, yes. Police station, jail... Crimson Cat. Let's talk to Jimbo again.
Hello, Jimbo. I have a few more questions for you.
All right, fine.
I like you, Jimbo. You're cool.
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Yes, that's my ship, the SS Priscilla.
Oh.
I see. Did Ronan know about it?
Of course. He always used to ask me to bring him back some exotic souvenir.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Interesting.
Miles, have you ever noticed that this Jimbo fellow fits the description of the man loitering outside the taxidermy shop? The barmaid told us she saw someone matching that description at the Raven on election night. Not only that, Priscilla just so happens to be the name of the ship Jimbo works on. And the pistol used to murder Ronan has the initials JB etched on it. It could be a coincidence, but I think it's quite reasonable to consider him as a suspect.
Yeah, but I don't think he is. There's more going on than we've found out. Let's see if this guy knows anything else.
I don't think he'll be much more help at the moment.
Damn. I love that stupid lion head. How about Mr. Opium Head?
Leave him be.
Yeah.
He's not much of a conversationalist anyway.
Mr. Poppy for brains.
She's not gonna...
What's new, Cormac?
A moment of your time, if I may.
Right, I'll make it quick.
Do you know anyone named Priscilla?
Ah, that's not a name Cormac knows.
Frankly, I'm surprised it's not the name of one of his tools.
Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to your drink.
Good point.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Nope.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
Shit. She doesn't seem the type for idle chat. Best wait until you've got something to ask her. Let's not stick around here if there's nothing more to ask about right now.
Oh wait, oops, this isn't where I wanted to be.
Therein lies.
Can we talk for a moment?
Certainly.
Upton, what do you have on this Harvey Presser fellow?
Give me a moment, and I'll locate the arrest report. Here we are. He was picked up in a bar in Chumley after being identified as the leader of a cooping gang by one of his fellow gang members.
So much for loyalty. Anything else about him?
Not much besides his address.
That might be worth looking into.
It's 5885 Riverview Road, right near the asylum.
Ah, wonderful. Maybe afterwards you can drop by and pick out a room.
Shut up, Bill.
I'll let you get back to work.
And you'd better do the same.
Okay, cool. While I'm here, may as well check in with Edwards again, although I doubt he'll have anything new to say. Oh, maybe he will.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
Edwards, do you know much about the effects of opium?
I forgot about that.
Quite a great deal, unfortunately. It's all the rage these days. Most people use it to calm the nerves or relieve pain, but it's highly addictive and has numerous adverse effects.
Such as?
It depends, really. Most common are sweating, nausea, memory loss, or blurred vision. But more serious cases can lead to hallucination, violent mood swings, coma, or even death. I just had a case in here a few weeks ago who died from an opium overdose. It wasn't pretty.
Doesn't sound like it. Thanks for the information, Edwards.
Anytime.
I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham.
Things are starting to fall into place here, Miles. Between the letters, the missing gun, and what Edwards told us about the effects of opium, I think we have enough evidence to consider Puffin a suspect.
Yeah, he's kind of my top one right now. But what's his motive? Did he just murder Ronan in a violent rage? Wait. He might have, because apparently Ronan looks like his nephew. And he has a thing for his nephew's intended. So he might have shot Ronan with the intention of getting his nephew out of the way so he could marry Priscilla. That may be what's really going on here.
Just a moment.
Aw, there's a kid in the bed there. I think that's a kid.
Yeah? What do you want?
Ooh, she doesn't look like the type to take any guff. Better watch yourself, Miles.
We don't... We don't even know if she has a husband. Like, we don't necessarily know that Harvey Presser is her husband, right? I'm just gonna say this.
I'm a private investigator, and I wanted to ask you a few questions.
Private investigator? What is this about?
I promise I won't take up much of your time.
All right, come in. But try and keep it down. My daughter isn't feeling well, and I don't want her being disturbed.
Cool. Alright, good. I'm in. Hacker voice.
A man's coat. Seems Harvey wasn't expecting to be out for very long.
Vacuum cleaners. Yeah, you're right. Those are vacuum cleaners. They look like them anyway.
Some of those modern steam cleaners. If they use them in this place, they clearly aren't worth a damn. She doesn't look so good.
Aw, poor baby.
Seems to be a notice from the bank threatening to foreclose on this place if they're late on their rent payment again. No wonder Harvey's taken a second job. Presumably that goes into the presser's bedroom. Or it might be a closet. Or both. It seems peasant soup is on the menu tonight.
Mrs. Presser?
Yeah, what?
So what do you do while your husband's away?
Hang on there, what are you playing at? I'm a married woman.
I merely wanted to know a bit more about you, that's all. I meant no disrespect.
Is that your game? Asking innocent ladies about themselves so you can have your way?
She doesn't have to worry about being mistaken for innocent, that's for sure.
No, you know what? Just forget I said anything. Is your daughter all right?
She's just come down with a bit of something. This stew I'm making will put her right again. I've been giving her regular doses of Pink Bladder's Miracle Tonic, too. I'm sure she'll be back to tearing the house down again in a matter of days. Ticks after her father, that one.
Miracle Tonic, huh?
Are you pleased with the election results?
Yeah, I'm glad that no-good high muck-a-muck Atwood was voted out. Maybe now they can finally get to work on that bridge to Gascon we've been promised for so long.
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Never heard of him.
And you've never seen the man in this ferrotype?
Nope. And I'm glad I haven't. Looks like a real pushover.
What does your husband do for a living, Mrs. Presser?
Harvey? He's a traveling salesman. Sells steam-powered cleaners like the ones in the corner there.
Oh?
Doesn't make much money on account of most people being afraid of steam tech these days. But Harvey tries his best to provide for me and little Mary. He's a good man. The job takes him out of town for days at a time. Well, we get by.
And that's all he does?
What are you asking? You know something I don't?
No, not at all.
Maybe.
I was just curious.
Oh, look, another husband keeping secrets from his wife. There are a copper a dozen around here, it seems.
I don't have any more questions for you, Mrs. Presser.
Good.
Yeah, there's been like every single case so far has involved a husband keeping secrets from his wife.
I think we've pestered her enough. Best leave her to her cooking. She doesn't look so good.
Okay, so maybe now I can be like, hey, Harvey, your wife doesn't know what you've been doing. What would you do if I told her? Excuse me. Oops. Blackmail.
A few more questions for you, Mr. Presser.
Whatever you say.
I had a little chat with your wife. You have a lovely family.
Mildred? How did you...
I may not be with the police anymore, but that doesn't mean I can't still get the information I need.
You didn't tell her about me being in jail, did you?
Don't worry. It was quite obvious your wife has no idea what you're involved in. As a man who values discretion, I thought it best not to shatter her illusions.
That's awfully decent of you.
Of course, I might change my mind, unless you start to cooperate.
I have to say, Miles, you've become a real natural at this tough cop role.
All right, fine. I'll talk. Just leave my family out of it.
You got it.
Is this your first time in jail?
Yeah, actually. Suppose you think I'm just some criminal scum, born for the gibbet? I'm not a bad man, Mr. Fordham. I just made some mistakes. You've met my family. I'd do anything for them. Anything.
I suppose no good deed goes unpunished.
You can say that again.
I wonder how he got that scar.
Do you recognize the man in this ferrotype?
Yes, I do. That's Mr. Lespay.
And how is it you know him?
I was assigned to watch him and then pick him up on election night.
Assigned? By whom?
My employer. I'd really rather not name names, Mr. Fordham.
I don't care about your employer. What I care about is what you were doing with Mr. Lespay.
Well, it was a cooping scheme. He was one of the people I was told to pick up.
Tell me more about this cooping scheme.
I got paid to find men to vote for Atwood. Simple, really.
Oh.
Once I found a good mark, I followed him a bit, knocked him out, then took him to the coop, a little room I rented near the Raven. I had about 5 men on election night, including the spay. Got them all liquored up and walked them over to the polls. Once each of them voted, we'd walk back over to the coop. I'd change their clothes, maybe give them a fake beard, and walk back for another vote. Did it for myself, too, so people would be less likely to notice. Kept it up for a few hours, until the murder.
Tell me what you know about the murder outside the Silent Raven.
The most important thing I can tell you is that I didn't kill him.
Do you know who did?
Not a clue. I was inside the bar when I heard the gunshot. I went outside to see what had happened, and found the spay on the sidewalk.
And what happened next?
What do you think? I panicked. He was in my care. I wasn't expecting anyone to get killed.
I think Mr. Presser has a wildly different definition of the word care.
I went inside and gave the barmaid 10 crowns to keep her mouth shut. Clearly, that was money misspent. Then I went back home. Told my wife I was going away on a business trip for a few days, just in case. Good thing I did, too. I might get out of this with her none the wiser.
What makes you so sure they'll let you out?
Me? I'm just a small fish, but I could talk and talk about whales. That's valuable information.
Yeah.
Quite the shrewd negotiator, this one. I think his skills have been wasted.
That's all the questions I have for now.
Good. Leave me in peace.
All right. Interesting. Okay, so we can return to Mrs. Morgan and accuse Jimbo. We can return to Mrs. Morgan and accuse Tom Puffin. I feel like Tom was probably the one who did it. Is there any information we're missing? Ronan's ex-partner, a sailor working on the SS Priscilla, recently separated from Ronan after being accused of seeing someone else. Choirmaster at Saint Denis Cathedral, opium addict, in love with his nephew's fiancée, and appears to be sending her letters posing as his nephew. Let's see if anyone else has anything to say.
Let's not stick a... She...
Nope. Can't talk to that guy.
She's not... Leave him be.
Just a moment! Oh, it's you again. Come in.
I think we've pestered her enough.
Okay. Thanks, I just wanted to stay in your house for a few seconds. Talk to Ned again.
He hasn't got anything else.
Okay.
He won't be much more help. I don't think he'll...
Yeah. I just gotta get out. Gotta get away from these four walls.
He won't have anything relevant to tell us right now.
It's like people who can only work when they're in a coffee shop or something.
I don't think the good doctor has anything else to teach us right now.
Keep up the good work, Upton. I might have some more questions later.
I have no doubt you will.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to investigate here. I think my only real option at this point is to accuse Puffin. Where's that j'accuse save? Let's do it.
You got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
I've completed my investigation of your brother's murder, Mrs. Morgan.
You have? Oh, that's such a relief to hear. Who killed him?
It was Tom Puffin, choir master at St. Denis Cathedral.
What? But why would a member of the church do something like that?
Puffin is in love with his nephew Ned's fiancée, Priscilla. He's even gone so far as to intercept their letters and write to each of them under false pretenses. Mr. Puffin is also an avid opium user and is prone to fits of rage as well as hallucinations. The evening of the murder, Puffin was at the Silent Raven, and in his opium-induced fog, mistook your brother for Ned. He had his pistol on him, and his rage and jealousy got the better of him. Poor Ronan was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And what about the clothes he was wearing? Or why he was in Chumley in the first place?
I'm afraid your brother fell victim to a cooping gang. They dragged him to Chumley and forced him to vote multiple times. He was wearing someone else's clothes as part of a disguise.
Forgot about that detail.
Poor brother. So what happens now?
Now, I'll inform Miss Upton of my findings, and she'll send an officer along to arrest Puffin. From there, justice will be served accordingly.
I see. Thank you for your help, Mr. Fordham.
You, with your weird hair.
Tom Puffin?
Yes, may I help you, officer?
You're under arrest for the murder of Ronan Lespay.
What? Oh, God. So it wasn't a dream.
Come along, sir. We need to question you at the station.
Yeah, he didn't have a very good alibi either.
You know, Miles, you've been coming in here a lot lately, but you've never looked quite this glum. What's going on?
I've bungled things pretty badly at home. Been staying with a friend the past couple of weeks.
I see. What happened?
I haven't been honest with my wife. Coming here and drowning my sorrows hasn't really helped, oddly enough. And yet, it's all I can do to keep from going crazy.
You know, Miles, I've seen and heard a lot of things over the years. Some of the stories would turn your hair white. But through it all, I've come to learn one thing. It's usually not too late to make things better, but only if you let yourself try.
Thank you for the advice, Patrick.
All I can do is give it, Miles. Whether you choose to take it or not is entirely up to you. Now, would you like another gin?
No, thank you. This time I really do need to be on my way.
Hey. You do need to, or you do know when to call it quits. Let's go visit Adelaide.
I should go and see how my wife is doing.
I see. Well, have a good night, Miles. And good luck to you.
I miss my wifey poo.
Who in the ether? Miles? This is a surprise.
Decided to forgive you.
Addie, it's so good to see you. I've been such an idiot lately.
Well, I'm glad you can admit to it. Would you like to come in?
Very much.
Oh, please, yes.
Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, let's apologize first.
I wanted to make amends for how I acted when we last spoke. I'm sorry I put you through that. I was an absolute ratbag, and I hope you can forgive me.
Aw.
I still don't appreciate you keeping things from me. Where have you been all this time, anyway?
Upton's been letting me stay with her.
Better than sleeping under a bridge, I suppose.
Yes, although I don't know how much longer I can impose on her generosity.
Are you asking me to let you come back here?
Yes.
Yes, but I know I need to earn it. That's why I'm finally going to tell you the truth.
Miles, what are you doing? You know this is a terrible idea.
Shut up, Bill.
The truth?
About why I've been acting the way I have been since Bill died.
Well, go on. I'm listening.
Don't do it, Miles. You know it's a one-way ticket to Riverview if you do.
No, I don't know. I don't think Adelaide would do that to me. I don't know, though. Might be.
I've been hearing Bill's voice ever since he died.
Fordham, what is wrong with you?
His voice?
I can't believe this! You've just destroyed your life! I hope you realize that!
Yes, in my head, at all hours. That's why I was taking the soporific. It was the only way to keep him quiet. Or so I thought. Turns out that alcohol has the same effect.
What does he say to you?
The type of things he'd say when he was alive. Snarky comments, inappropriate jokes. Mainly he nags me to find the flower shop burglar. He thinks doing that will let him find peace and move on.
I see.
I told you you'd think I was crazy.
Don't be ridiculous, Miles. It's nothing like that. It's just, I wish you had told me sooner is all.
I know, but I was afraid.
Well, I'm glad you finally trusted me. You know, you could have all along.
So, you're all right with it?
It is quite a lot to take in. I think I'll need some time to mull it over. But what matters now is that we can work through this together.
I understand. Well, I should probably go. It was lovely to see you again, Addie.
Lovely to see you too, Miles.
Perhaps I'll stop by again next week?
Or sooner, if you'd like.
Sure. Like the men in white coats aren't gonna have you taken away by then.
Right. I'll see myself out then.
Good night, Miles.
Yeah, we'll have to see where this goes.
Fordham, wake up.
He just leapt over the side. I don't... Oh, Upton. What's going on?
Goodness, Fordham. You look terrible. Is everything all right?
Just had some trouble sleeping. More than usual.
Well, I hope you've rested enough, because I've got something very important to show you.
Oh boy.
Oh, wonderful. If we're sharing information now, are you gonna tell Upton about me as well?
No. Not yet.
What is it?
There's been a murder.
I assume this one is special somehow, or you wouldn't be bringing it to me.
I thought that great detectives never assumed.
There are exceptions to every rule.
Anyway, you're right. The victim in question is a member of Parliament, a man named Percival McDonough, to be precise.
Huh.
But this is the real corker. The murder is clearly the work of the Justice Killer.
The Justice Killer? Is that the mass murderer I've been hearing about?
The very same.
Why Justice Killer, though?
It's part of his modus operandi. He kills his victims with a single gunshot to the head, then writes the word justice somewhere in the room with the victim's blood.
Talk about melodramatic.
The police are stumped. This is the killer's 5th victim, and there isn't a single lead.
So you want me to investigate?
Not just yet. First, I need you to look at these sketches.
Crime scene sketches? Upton, are you allowed to have these?
Relax, Fordham. These are just copies I made with the station's ferroduplicator. These killings need to stop, and I believe you can succeed where the department has so far failed.
Aww.
So, what am I looking for?
The police went over each crime scene with a fine-toothed comb and turned up practically no useful physical evidence. I want a second opinion from you. If you can find some sort of link between them, it might be possible to track this monster down.
All right, let's see what we can see. Maybe there's something that Snelling's finest overlooked.
All right. Let's check out these sketches.
Here are the 4 sketches. Have a look at them and see if you notice anything that might help us find this maniac.
Okay. I think this is the last case. So I probably don't have too much longer with this game. which is a little unfortunate. I'm really enjoying this. But I already have planned the game that I'm going to play next. I'll let you know what that is later.
Upton?
What is it, Fordham?
Everything all right with you?
Oh, I'm getting by. I expect things to go back to normal once this killer is caught.
I haven't worn out my welcome here yet, have I?
No, you're still tolerable. But when was the last time you washed your hair?
You're starting to sound like Adelaide. About those crime scene sketches.
Yes?
How in the ether were you able to get these sketches out from the department?
I told you, they're just duplicates. Snelling installed one of those fancy new Faro duplicators a few months ago. They let you copy any document. Trust me, nobody even noticed that I took the sketches from evidence. I know how to cover my tracks.
I certainly hope so. On second thought, never mind.
Whatever you say.
You were an
I
amazing...
should get back to it.
Not a bad idea.
You were an amazing woman, Upton. Let's read the newspaper. Atwood under fire for alleged cooping... Wow, can't talk. For alleged cooping scheme. More controversy has emerged after Hart Leroy's landslide victory against Herbert Atwood, as accusations of a pro-Atwood cooping scheme have emerged. Allegedly, Atwood's campaign hired men to find unsuspecting victims, ply them with alcohol, and then force them to vote multiple times in disguise in order to increase Atwood's chances of re-election. The victims were kept in a small room referred to as a coop, and forced to change clothes several times in order to vote repeatedly. Once they served their purpose, victims were left in the back alleys around the city, dazed and confused. Despite the efforts, it was not enough to secure Atwood's victory. The information comes from the alleged leader of the cooping gang, who agreed to talk, continued on page 10. Citizens fear a mass murderer. The general mood around New Britannia is one of caution and fear, especially in Chumley. 4 victims have so far been claimed by the so-called justice killer, with no apparent motive or link between them. That's what makes it so frightening, said Chumley resident Simon Banks. You have no idea who's going to be next. It's gotten to the point where I stopped sweeping chimneys before sundown. When reached for comment, the New Britannia police offered no new information but encouraged citizens to remain vigilant and avoid answering their doors for strangers. Rumors of a nightly curfew have been swirling, but no confirmation has been given. Anyone with information regarding the identity of the killer is strongly encouraged to contact the New Britannia police. Arrest made in tragic election night murder. Ronan Lespay, an employee of the Gripsholm taxidermy shop, was murdered outside the Silent Raven pub in Chumley on election night. According to New Britannia police, the person responsible was Tom Puffin, choirmaster at Saint Denis Cathedral. According to an unconfirmed source, Puffin mistook Lespay for his nephew, whom he had planned on killing, and accidentally murdered Mr. Lespay instead. He was allegedly under the influence of opium. Puffin was arrested on the charge of murder in the 2nd degree and is set to stand trial in November. Lespay was described by his sister as full of life and an avid fan of books and travel, though Mr. Lespay himself had apparently never left Vespuccia. Contributions to pay for Mr. Lespay's funeral expenses are being accepted, confirmed on page 8. Oh, okay, it just hit me. Vespuccia is it is the parallel universe America, because America got its name from the explorer Amerigo Vespucci. So, yeah, Vespuccia. This is America! This is Vespuccia. Vespuccia. I can't believe it took me that long to figure that out. Adoy. Gascony spiritualist arrested for fraud. Angela Maxwell, the leader of a spiritualist group in Gascony known as the Spectre Society, was arrested yesterday on charges of fraud after an extensive undercover operation by the New Britannia police discovered that she was exploiting her clients and robbing them of their money. Detective Lester Barnett attended several meetings under an assumed name, during which he observed Miss Maxwell's ruse. She would claim her client was cursed, then offer healing services for a fee. The clients would then pay exorbitant amounts of money over a period of time to be cured. A representative of the New Britannia police offered this warning. We urge the public to be extremely wary of anyone claiming to be able to communicate with spirits or deceased loved ones. In reality, they often just prey on the grief-stricken and vulnerable. Okay, let's check out these police sketches.
Whoever drew this was a hack. That looks more like a piece of toast than a flower.
Now I remember one of the articles in the newspaper in one of the previous cases mentioned the smell of flowers. So I suspect the flowers may be the tide for this, but we'll see.
What's the point? It's not like you're actually going to be able to investigate this case.
Bill, shut up.
If only you hadn't told Adelaide about me, I might share my thoughts with you. As it is, you're on your own.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so consequences. Because I pissed off Bill. Now he won't talk to me. You know what? Adelaide's more important to me anyway, so. Too bad, Bill.
I'm sure this is terribly relevant, but I've got nothing to say about it. I don't feel like looking at dead bodies right now. Is there something more exciting we could be doing? Oh, were you hoping for some witty insight? Shame, because you're not getting any.
You're so grumpy. Ooh.
Yeah, he's dead. Big deal. I'm really not in the mood to be analyzing crime scene sketches right now.
Well, I am, so shut up.
Boring.
Oh, Bill, you're so sassy.
Wait, what's that? I see an important clue. Just kidding. Maybe you should write crazy over your bed. Boring, just like everything else in this sketch.
Interesting.
Oh, what? You actually found something without my help? I'm shocked.
Shut your face.
Upton?
What is it, Fordham?
About those crime scene sketches.
Yes?
I think I found a connection.
I knew you would. What is it?
There's a single flower at each crime scene. They look deliberately placed.
There is? Let me have a look. You're right. One lily at each scene.
Wait, what did you say?
These flowers, they're lilies. Easter lilies, I think.
I don't believe it.
Upton, this is incredible. This is the lead I've been searching for.
What? You mean for another case?
The flower shop burglar. He was stealing Easter lilies. And I distinctly remember him saying something about his desire to uphold justice.
Oh.
At the time, I thought it was just the rambling of a lunatic, but now it seems so obvious.
So the flower shop burglar is the justice killer?
It seems too much of a coincidence otherwise.
Well, then that's wonderful. You can kill two birds with one stone.
Literally.
Excellent work, Fordham. I knew you could do it.
Okay.
What exactly are the details regarding this justice killer?
The killings began a few months ago, and so far he's claimed 5 victims. The department wanted to keep this information out of the public eye to prevent a panic, but word has gotten out. On the bright side, it makes your involvement in the case much less suspicious.
True.
What can you tell me about the previous victims?
4 men from Chumley: Hannibal Kirkland, Reggie Willingham, Ennis Bowditch, and Burley Cause. No known connection between any of them aside from the borough they lived in. I have copies of the police reports from each of the crime scenes. Go ahead and take them.
Thank you, Upton.
Sweet. Lots of documents.
What are the details regarding the killer's latest victim?
As I mentioned, the victim is Percival McDonough, a member of Parliament. He was found this morning by his secretary in his office. I expect the official investigation is still underway.
So the killer managed to get into the Houses of Parliament. No easy feat.
You can say that again. It's the killer's first high-profile victim. It means he's getting bolder.
I suppose I'll have to drop by and see for myself. I should get back to it.
Not a bad idea.
Right. I think I have enough information to get started. I think I'll begin with...
Odd. I wasn't expecting company.
Uh-oh.
Chief Snelling?
Uh-oh.
Upton, we need to talk. Fordham, I should have guessed I'd find you here.
Chief Snelling, aren't you supposed to be out trying to catch the justice killer?
Appropriate that you should bring that up, Fordham. That's precisely why I'm here.
Those are some rather interesting decorations. Would either of you care to explain how they got here?
And once again, the jig is up. I hope you can talk your way out of this one, too.
Well, let's say I asked Upton.
I asked Upton to get me the duplicates of the sketches. This was my doing.
Even if that were the case, Upton still broke the law by aiding you.
How did you find out about the copies?
The Ferroduplicator makes a report of every employee who uses it, as well as what was copied. A rather useful feature for instances such as these. Wouldn't you agree?
These gadgets are going to be the undoing of us all.
In any case, I did some digging and discovered some intriguing information. Upton, why have you been passing on classified police information to Mr. Fordham?
Because he's the best detective you ever had on the force, and you know it.
Is that right? Personally, I don't consider getting your partner killed the mark of a great detective.
Oh, please, it was one mistake.
But what's done is done. Constance Upton, your employment with the New Britannia Police Department is hereby terminated.
But
I should add that it's only because of your 25 years of dedicated service that I'm not pressing charges against you. But as for you, Fordham, I have enough evidence to place you under arrest for obstruction of justice and interfering with police investigations. Do you have anything to say in your defense before I take you in for questioning?
I bet he's the Justice Killer.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I know who the Justice Killer is.
Fordham, if this is your idea of a diversion...
It's true. I found a link in the sketches of the crime scenes.
All right, let's hear it then. What do you think you found?
I'll tell you if you promise to let me take the case.
Out of the question, Fordham. This is a police matter.
And the police haven't made progress in months. Fordham figured it out in a matter of minutes. Admit it, Snelling. Fordham is your best shot at finding the killer. Are you gonna let your personal differences put the people of this city in danger?
Fine. I'll let you continue to operate as an assistant in this case.
Yes.
If you have actually found something of value. Now, what is this link?
He leaves a single Easter lily at each crime scene. The same type of flowers the burglar and the chum was stealing.
I see. A tenuous link, but plausible. I'll give you until tomorrow afternoon. If you haven't come up with anything, I'm throwing you in jail.
Sounds fair to me.
And don't get any clever ideas about leaving town, either.
Come now, would I do something like that?
Fordham, it seems there's no telling what you might do. I'm probably a fool for not clapping you in irons right here and now. When you have something to report, come find me in my office. Don't make me regret this.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Except you're still fired. I didn't have a chance to get him to change his mind.
We'll worry about that after you catch the killer. In the meantime, I could use a drink. I'll see you later, Fordham.
Wonder where she's going.
Well, better get to work then. Clock is ticking.
All right. Cool.
Ooh, that's not a pretty sight.
Oh, good. It actually has something to say about them now.
Way to ruin a perfectly good wall. I bet that'll take ages to clean up. Interesting place for a flower. Bloody writing. This killer is one sick individual. That flower adds a nice touch to an otherwise drab apartment. Too bad about the body, though.
Yeah, wow, there's like nothing in this room.
Must have been a powerful shot to knock him backwards like that. You have to wonder what the meaning behind this is. The flower certainly brings the room together. Not a very pretty way to go out. I wonder if he was trying to get something from that safe.
Yeah. I also wonder that.
Should have listened to your mother. You should have practiced. At least this poor slob got to die in bed. The Justice Killer sure is thorough, you have to give him that.
I just realized he's just wearing a shirt and, like, nothing else.
Pretty flower, but is there really anything special about it?
Also, man, look at this. This is really good, like, perspective on these legs and feet here. It's amazing. Feet are my weak point as far as drawing goes. I'm bad at feet.
Therein lies.
Okay, well, I got about 2 minutes, so I should probably wrap it up. Okay, police station, Houses of Parliament. Well, let's go to the police station first and bother Snelling. Hello.
Fordham, how goes the investigation?
I'm making some headway.
Is that right? I certainly hope so for your sake.
Da Chief.
Ah, Chief Jacobs. Now there was a leader. The rumor was always that the chief kept a bottle of something in a secret compartment in this cabinet. In Snelling's case, it's probably just water. Every book and file in there is organized to perfection. I'll bet Snelling gets flustered if anything is even a millimeter out of place. You should bump into the side when he's not looking.
Ooh, I like this plan. Oh yeah, there's the Union Jack on the made-up flag that you were mentioning, Edenwaith.
Chief Snelling?
Yes, Fordham?
What is on his forehead?
Enjoying your new position, Snelling?
Reaping the rewards for years of hard work and dedicated service. A gratifying feeling you'll never be able to experience.
Oh, I get my gratification in other ways.
I'm sure you do, and I'd honestly rather not know about that.
So I see the department is still running like a well-oiled machine.
It is, in fact. But I'm sure Upton has kept you well informed of our activities. Incidentally, the woman accused in the Harris kidnapping is set to testify in court today.
Oh, that's nice.
Linda Walker's trial is today? That was fast.
Indeed. Sometimes the wheels of justice grind slowly. Sometimes they spin out of control. She'll be taking the stand within the hour. If you care to hear her for yourself, best get going soon.
Might be interesting.
Listen, about Leger's death.
I don't want to hear it, Fordham. What happened, happened. Nothing you can say is going to change my opinion on the matter.
And if I manage to find the man responsible?
The man responsible is standing before me. Even if you manage to find the culprit you let escape, it isn't going to bring Leger back from the dead.
But it will bring closure to the matter.
If that thought is what allows you to sleep at night, then so be it.
What makes him think you sleep at night?
I was gonna say, like, that is not what helps me sleep at night. What helps me sleep at night is drugs and booze.
What information do you have on the Justice Killer?
Clearly not as much as you.
I see how this is gonna go.
Well, what do you have?
A list of 5 victims, some information on each of them, and no clear idea what connects them. Until your discovery of the lily at each scene, that was where we stood. While I doubt this discovery will do much to aid in tracking him down, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Thanks.
What do you know about the Justice Killer's previous victims?
Only what's in their files. All working men from Chumley. That's the only link.
Oh yeah, I should look at the files.
You didn't look further into their personal lives? Maybe they had some social connection.
As I said, the detectives found nothing. You seem to think you can do better, so I'll leave it up to you.
You have to wonder how much more thorough the department's investigations would have been if the 4 men were all rich like McDonough.
You know anything about Percival McDonough?
He's a member of Parliament. I believe his constituency is somewhere in central Kingsland. From the reports I've gotten, McDonough led a rather unassuming life for a politician. He is, however, the first victim who didn't live in Chumley. Either there's a link we've missed, or the killer is changing his method. Then again, since you seem so confident in your abilities to resolve this matter, I assume you'll provide an explanation.
Count on it. I need to get back to my investigation.
Yes. Time is not on your side, Fordham.
All right, cool. With that, I will end there for the night. And yeah, we'll pick up next Tuesday. Yes, next Tuesday, more Lamplight City. We might actually be able to finish the game by then, depending on how long this case takes. I will not be putting up a straw poll for the next game, because I already have a plan for what the game I'm going to play next after this one is. But like I said, I'll tell you that later. And also, like I said earlier in the stream, before anyone really showed up, the designer of this game, Francisco Gonzalez, he has a new game coming out soon called Rosewater, and that is just today, I believe. That's now on Steam, or it's available to wishlist on Steam. So, if you're interested in that, if you like this game, I believe Rosewater is set in the same setting as this one. So if you like Lamplight City, you'll probably like Rosewater. So yeah, give that a look if you're interested. I sure am. And yeah, so I will see you tomorrow for Reciteer, and next Monday more Full Throttle. Yeah, I realize Full Throttle is pretty short, so I might be able to finish it in like maybe 2 or 3 sessions. So I should probably put up another straw poll for the next game after that. But yeah, we'll worry about that later. For now, let's see who I can raid. What's Kilgore Trout playing right now? Oh, he's playing Wizards and Warriors. That game looks cool. What else we got? Doopity-doo, doobly-doo. Yeah, you know what? Let's send you over to Kilgore. I haven't raided him in a while. Why are my headset's clicking weirdly? Yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone, and hope you enjoyed tonight's stream of possibly bad decisions and also good decisions and questionable decisions. Yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. It means a lot to me to have people show up and watch, even if you don't say much and even if you don't subscribe or anything. I like playing games for an audience. Yeah. Before I start rambling too much, I will let you go, and I will see you tomorrow. Night, everyone!